Hey, I'm Locksmith from Rudimental, and this is our story, Unlocked. We decided to book a trip to Ibiza. I remember the boys had booked it for a certain date, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna be able to get out there for that date because I'm working. So literally last minute, these guys have said Dizzy Rascals playing at Ibiza Rocks at the time that they're going. So I'm like, man, I need to get out there. I'm just literally gonna ditch work and I'm just gonna go there and I'm just gonna say to them that, you know, I was sick. So at this point in Ibiza, I've decided to do a sort of like Spartan 300 speech.
This is Ibiza! This is our town! Ibiza is yours! Take what is yours!
Everyone's running down the strip, running, dodging cars, dodging mopeds. And then there was this taxi coming towards me. It's like, you know what, I can scale this. I know a bit of parkour in my head. I don't know parkour. And I've literally scaled it and landed on my feet, and all the rest of the boys are like, ah! And I'm like, yeah, all right, everyone, get in a taxi. So I'm ushering people into taxis. And everyone's like, what about you, bro? I'm like, don't worry about me. It's all about you guys. Get in a taxi. Driver's come out and he's just pulled out a can of gas and just sprayed me in my eyes. Like, I'm like, ah! So I've gone to kick him. He's holding one of my legs and he's kicking me up the arse, like literally kicking me in my arse. Thankfully, it's a soft spot. And then to the point where I managed to push him off, and then he runs off and gets into his taxi, and I'm blinded. We got to Ibiza Rocks. My eyes are just like golf balls. So we're watching him and we're like, that's the stage we want to be on. We got to be on that stage. So that was another moment that inspired us. You know, we can't give up. We have to keep going and we have to keep pushing forward. And then 2 years later, we was on the same stage playing at Ibiza Rocks. Rudimental first started probably when we was 5 years old, when we didn't know we was going to be Rudimental. One of our passions was to play football from a very early stage. We weren't allowed to actually bring footballs into school. So we ended up making footballs out of masking tape. Piers, he walked in, he was the new boy, so he didn't start at the same time as all of us. He had long hair, proper long hair. And I had a friend called Namdi, and he couldn't really speak that much English, but he was like one of my good friends. And Namdi just kept staring at Piers. So anyway, we'd be playing football, and the ball literally went over to Piers, rolled at his feet. Namdi went for the ball, got the ball, and then just looked Piers dead in his face. So everyone's shouting, pass the ball, but like, Namdi must have been in his own world and not hearing nothing, like in his own bubble. All of a sudden, Namdi's got closer and closer to Piers, to the point where he's gone in and kissed Piers. So I've ran over to Namdi, being sort of like his right-hand man, and he said, he's a girl. I said, no, he's not a girl, he's a boy, he's a boy. And Piers is like shell-shocked, he's not even moving, he's like, what the hell is going on? I've just come to this school, is this how it works around here? Yeah, that was it, that was my first encounter with Piers. It's all love, bro, but not that much love. I was lucky enough to play for Arsenal youth. I thought I was dog's bollocks. You know, my attitude wasn't the greatest. I did have some sort of talent, but when you go to sort of like an academy, you start realising that everyone's talented, you know? Being released from one of these big clubs and then really coming to the realisation of why I was released, the fact that I wasn't willing to work hard enough, I needed to implement that in my life, everything I do. I moved that focus into music, luckily enough. In fact, when I was 12, my mum bought me my first pair of decks. The beautiful thing about having those decks was that my bedroom became a youth centre. Sort of like me, Kezi and Piers would bring sort of like all the MCs from the area, from the neighbourhood. At times there would be like 30 MCs in one bedroom. It was like a great education. I remember Piers made a grime track and it was called Banged Up. It was like, you're banged up, yeah, you're gonna get banged up, yeah, this and the other. It was that kind of vibe at the time. So we was like, you know what, we're gonna press up like 100 vinyls and we're just gonna give them out to just all the DJs that we know. And at the time, pirate radio station was like the thing. And then one day we heard one of the biggest grime MCs play it on his show. So we're in the radio and we're just like, what our tunes on, it's crazy, it's nuts. And you're like, yeah, that's what it's about. This is what you want, that's the buzz and that's the feel. We was at the Brit Awards. Arsenal were playing Man United at the time. And we've got like our phone in the middle of our table and we was watching that whilst the awards were going on. There was this guy who just received an award, and as he's mid-speech, we're all watching the game and Arsenal score, and as Arsenal scored, I've gone, yes! And everyone is looking at me, and I've just slowly Just got back into my seat. I'm like, I feel like at this point in my life, I've gone full circle. I've managed to sign for a professional club, Braintree Town Football Club, and it feels really good to actually be doing that side of my dreams. So after all the hard work, the graft, we're back here, Rudimental, making music and playing football again. Worth it. Caw-caw, 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 caw-caw. It's a wrap!